So thanks once again for dropping by the channel. If you like the content, if you're new to the channel, please hit subscribe, share the video if you enjoyed it, if you felt it was useful. Now let's get into this. So it's been about a week now, a week or so, since it was announced that Billy Joe wouldn't be taking the Canelo fight, and it looked like pretty much the Canelo fight was dead in the water moving forward, even at that stage. So Billy Joe did an interview with Ellie. No, it wasn't Ellie Setback. It was with Seconds Out. And he kind of gave his side of the story, you know, why the fight's not happening, why, you know, all these kind of things. And it was a 20-minute interview. I sat down and watched it, and I had to actually watch it again because by the end of it, I was still kind of confused as to why this fight, you know, isn't being talked about, because Billy Joe was insisting that he was never... It was a weird one, because he's saying that he was never offered the fight. He's saying that no offer was made. But then he was retracting and saying he didn't have enough time. So if the fight was to happen, 2 months isn't enough time. He says there'd be press conferences, this, that, and the other, which I don't think there would be. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think they probably wouldn't do the press conference, especially, well, maybe, who knows. But he said that would knock 2 weeks off training. I wouldn't imagine it'd knock 2 weeks off training. And he's saying that basically he'd never take a fight, you know, without being prepared. Well, you know, a big fight anyway. It's like, well, you did fight Eubank Jr. by your own admission of what, a couple of weeks training? You know, you weren't in the greatest shape for that fight. And it definitely showed when you gassed down the line. So, you know, with Billy Joe, it's hard to know. It's hard to know what's going on. But he said that basically worse to the effect of that 2 months wouldn't be enough preparation. And he was told by Eddie Hearn that there'd be no offer. Essentially be made. There'd be no offer being made. You know, after the May date fell through, there'd be no offer. But then he comes and says that, Eddie Hearn said that, you know, there will be an offer, but it's going to be very low. And it's like, so what is happening? Because in 1 minute you're saying that there's no offer being put on the table. Then you're saying, there will be an offer, but it'd be so low, it's not worth your while taking it. It's not worth your while even looking at it. And then you're saying, you know, that, you know, you don't have enough time to be in the right, you know, frame, you're not in the right shape, etc., etc. It was just very odd to me, and it really kind of... Look, I've been critical of Billy Joe on this channel when I feel as though I need to be. You know, I've also said very good things about Billy Joe. You know, there's been times where he's done, you know, very good things that, you know, I praised him for. But this whole Canelo situation, it is strange. He's saying that Canelo wants somebody really cheap, so he'll end up fighting someone like a Jay Quigley or a Rio Johnson. Yeah, I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that Canelo wants someone cheap. But I'm sure that, put it like this, right? Calvin Smith is coming out and saying, you know, he'd fight him for less money. Dimitri Bivol is saying, you know, I'll come down to 168. I'll, you know, do what I need to do. So, it's, I don't know. It's a strange one. With Billy Joe, it's like, is he a bit like Tyson Fury? Tyson Fury will just contradict himself and say one thing and then say the other. And I got the sense with Billy Joe in that interview that he was saying the same thing. I obviously looked through the comments, were saying that maybe it was because he couldn't get the weight off in time. Maybe he was, you know, cycling off something. I haven't a breeze. I haven't an idea. But my way of looking at it is even if you're not getting the money you were meant to be getting for the original date, it still wouldn't be a bad offer. You know, you're fighting the biggest cash cow in boxing. If you do well, let's say you win. If you do well, snowball effect. You know, you can keep that going. If, you know, if you go and lose in a close fight, I mean. But if you win, mate, you hit the jackpot. If you beat Canelo, the rematch, you're going to get so much money. It's going to topple anything. And as I said, even if you lose, you do a good effort, a valiant effort, you can look good in defeat. Especially someone like Canelo, pound for pound #1. It's no shame. But with Billy Joe, it's like, what is it? Are you refusing? Are you... Like, he's saying at one stage that, you know, he didn't want to fight because it's too short notice. Then he's saying it was money. Then he's saying there was no fight offered. And then he was saying his name was 1 of 20. And it's just like, what is it? Because it's probably in the middle somewhere in there. But to me, it's just like, well, what is it then? Is it that you were never going to get, like, the fight? Was that just, you know, hearsay from Alvarez that the fight was never going to be given to you? Or was it going to be given to you at reduced rate? Or was, you know... were you just not going to have time to train? I don't know at the end of the day, but the interview with Billy Joe, it left more questions to be asked than answered, I found. So anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think the situation? What do you think? Why do you think Billy Joe is doing, basically? Because there's no Canelo fight. It's not likely going to get a Callum Smith fight. Eubank Jr. may be the only viable option, and even then, it'll probably be next year before we can actually get, you know, a sellout, you know, arena. So, oh, it's a strange one to me. Let me know your thoughts down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, of course, if you were new. And of course, as always, before I go, people, thank you for dropping by the channel. Thanks. Hope you enjoyed the video that you just saw. Remember, please like and share. It really, really helps me out. I do have Patreon as well. You can go over there. There's some podcasts up now. Go and have a listen if you like it. All well and good. Thanks a mil for all the support, people. I will talk to you.